All right, Cheryl. Okay, so here we go. Now we need your help to rewrite all of them. Okay, so basically I have saw what you have written, and all I can say is great. Wow. Yeah. It seems so different from what you have used very in the first place. So the whole thing is very very exciting. Okay, I really like some of them. The words are really crispy. Okay, don't know how to explain. I think you can explain it much better than me. So yeah, appreciate it. It's really good. Okay. Um. Okay, what I mentioned to you is that I like 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so basically, yes, I'm gonna redo the video and see how we can combine our ideas together to put a very good write-up. Okay, so thereafter we do have about I think one more, quite a few more. Okay, I would like to change now with someone like you around. I would like to change the whole thing since I have gained more knowledge on writing as well. Okay, so here we are really counting on you. So one thing is I'm not that good is the grammar, so that's I'm counting on you as well as the adjectives. All right. Yes. Okay. So here I like this. Okay. How about let me go through mine first. Okay, and see what's going on. Okay. Let me just try to read out. Yeah, glad that you can read my handwriting. The success of your child's education journey will depend on how he or she could understand various academic concepts deeply and manipulate it based on the question's requirements. Okay. Now, I did mention here my typing sounds like very boring reading manual, so we need your help to do the magic. Okay. Um. Um. Okay. So what I'm trying to say over here is that like Mm, okay, how do I say over here? Okay, so it's like, yeah, I think it's a little bit straightforward. So how much you can understand the concepts, how much you cannot just understand it. Okay, you have to really completely master it, what exactly it all says and why. Okay, so a lot of students know how to do it, but they do not understand why. So if you can to look at some of our questions, you will realize that you need to know why and to modify it in order to solve it. Okay, so you cannot just apply the formula all the time, okay, because that is how difficult Singapore's education is. So the other way is to keep on doing a lot of practices, okay, which is not going to be effective. Okay, next, okay, so now what happens do I mean by this line? Okay, so, oops. Okay, so this line denotes another box. Okay, so if you go to the OCCE website, okay, you can see that we are talking about a lot of boxes. So like for example, this is the first box, this is the second box, this is the third box, this is the fourth box, fifth box, etc. So the fifth box is the science box. Okay, so what we have is going to have one box. Okay, so the okay, this will be the first box, the success of your child, blah blah blah. And so the second box will be after we have put in 6 years. Okay, okay, so we will have some pictures over here and the success after 6 years. Okay, blah 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 blah. Okay, after 6 years of cognitive science research, you can finally equip your child with the 7 important thinking tools that top students has that helps them to succeed in primary school. We are proud to announce that 96.7% of our cohort in the past 3 years achieved top 10 in maths and English in their respective class. Okay, after we have put in 6 years of cognitive research, you can finally equip your child with 7 thinking tools. Okay, so why do I want to put it? Okay, why do I need to emphasize on the 6 years of cognitive research? Okay, so what happens is I want to be more this is the point where we want to say that we are the best, okay, where the things that we do are real. Okay, we don't just come up with things in a moment's notice. Okay, so it's the idea that they cannot get this product elsewhere. Okay, we are the best. Okay, this is the points that I'm trying to use for this box. Okay, next, the lessons is based on CCE method, where lessons are made interesting with our hands-on learning and live questions. You will realize how much your child will enjoy the subject thereafter when they are able to understand the subject and have the intellect to solve it. Students will constantly want to test their mind on harder questions and find out more on how they could better deal with the subject. That is how they gain interest. Okay, so for this box, is something I have newly added. So what I'm trying to say is now, um, let's say if you have no idea about what you are learning, so what happens is that those people will be forced to memorize the methods, forced to memorize the answer. Okay, but if you have the idea, you know what you are doing, you are strong with it, then you will start to and you can have the capability to solve it. Okay, that means you are smart enough to solve it. Okay, then that is only when that you are willing to be, you need this to start to have, you need this to start to have um you need this to start to have the interest. Okay, so without these two foundations, you will not be able to be interested in the subject. Okay, so that is the drill that I want to put it in. But I don't want to say things like you need to have intellect and good concepts, then you can start to have interest, because it's not a good selling point. Okay, the selling point I want to bring out is that you must be you just need to I just prefer to make it more straightforward that by joining us your child will be interested. Okay, I don't want to say that it will start to have interest, because if I say that these are the two key foundation to for your child to be interested, if I'm going to say this, parents may feel that hey, there is a potential that the students is not going to be interested. Okay, so I want to go straight more forward to the point to say that yeah, you come to us that you will be interested. Okay, so I have put a few pointers over here. Okay, these are all the drafts that I've tried, which I don't, and finally I have settled with this, but this is too long. We need your magic to put it more short and sweet. Okay, so all the things that we need your help to do, okay, I have written it here. Okay, in fact, I think I should describe this first. So as you listen to what I said, hopefully things will go into your mind. Okay, now what I want the whole thing to be more diagram-like and have bulletproof. Okay, so it will be best if things are not so long-winded like this. Okay, this is a little bit too long. What happens is that I felt that people are more tired at the moment. I'll not say tired. I felt that people are more lazy to read things clearer. Okay, um, so they will prefer something more short and sweet. So if they're going to look at a whole chunk of paragraph, okay, like this, they might start to fall bored. Okay, but somehow when I read this, I'm not so sure if you felt, but I am very interested to continue to read. Okay, but I would prefer something even more straightforward and small. So more things on the point form. Okay, like for example, this whole thing, I have changed it to point form. Okay, and this one is all point form as well. This is one point form. This is another point form. Okay, and I want to use diagrams and pictures to explain them. So for that, you'll be arrow. Okay, and best is to have some boxes, etc. Okay, give you another example of one of the copy that I have written. What's that called? So, Oh yeah, this is one company that I thought we can start off, but I have decided not to pursue it. Okay, so I would prefer something like this. Okay, you can see that this is another good example. Okay, so yes, I like this. Okay, call us, but the diagram is not good because it should be top down, but somehow this is in a very weird loop. Okay, I like this as well. Okay, yeah, you can see that all this is in diagrams, so I would prefer this as diagram. Okay, yes, while I think about it, so Cheryl, can you help me go to this website solverecovery.sg and explain how to make diagram? Okay, put some of the diagrams over here. Yeah, this is good one. Okay, use what I've explained and oops, and put it at the example for, okay, copy the whole thing. Okay, what I use is this plugin full page screenshot. Um, okay, and put it as one of the examples. All right. So this is something that I personally like because of course it's done by myself. Okay, so yeah, it has to be more diagram, more bulletproof. Please try your best to draw out the bulletproof and diagrams. Okay, and before we send it to the designer. Okay, it has to be shorter and sweet. I love your writing styles. I think we are almost there. Okay, a lot of them is really crisp, really short. Okay, your child is grumpy and irritable. Wow, well done, man, Cheryl. Soon you'll be the one of the top copywriters after working with us. Okay, yes, and yeah, okay, this looks great. Okay, your writing styles looks good, very sharp and crisp. Okay, more adjectives. Like I mentioned, I love the adjectives over here. So please go to these parts and see what other juicy, wonderful, awesome adjectives that you can use. Okay, snowy white leather. Okay, like I mentioned, this evolutionary technology. Okay, our shirts drew moisture away from the surface, dispersing it so that it can evaporate rapidly. Wow, all these are very, very good adjectives. So we need your help to do your magic. Okay, use the right tone. Okay, I did explain to you the tones that we are talking about once I finally manage it. Okay, so we have the movie dialogue tone and this kind informative tone. I think it would be better if we use these two tones. Okay, informative tone I felt can be powerful, but not so sure about it. Now, why do I feel it's powerful? Is that some of the informative tones looks like a textbook, where it's more authoritative. Okay, um, yes, perhaps I'll try to find some more authoritative tone. Okay, it's like when you are reading the Bible, so everything that is said is going to be real, true, and powerful. Writing like a newspaper reporting style, I thought that is good as well. Okay, so it's like there are some of the articles, yes, perhaps from the books. Okay, there are some where it looks like um informative post rather than an ad. Okay, so I can't remember. I think it's 10 reasons to eat something. Okay, and inside, okay, they have sublimely put in the ads right inside. Okay, I can't remember where. Okay, so it's very informative. So the good thing about this is that it is authoritative, which means if I'm going to say this like instead of now if you want your child to be very well, you need to come to CCE P1 prep class. Okay, instead of saying this, okay, which seems like I'm talking to you good, but it's a little bit sales. But how about some authoritative, like for example, um um newspaper have reports have found out that CCE is actually the best education course because of blah 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 blah. So you can see it makes your wordings feel quite real. Okay, so yes, in fact, we can try this, or maybe a mixture of the three, but I'm not so sure how good it is going to be. Okay, we have seen this and this mixture. Okay, there's a lot, but I did not see much of the informative one, authoritative one that is very good. Okay, I can't remember one the ad about this. If you can find that would be great. Okay, that is very very awesome. Okay, the informative proof. Okay, yes, I think the Rolls Royce ones. Okay, yes, I think this is a little bit more towards informative reading as well. It's not really directing at a reader. Okay, but it's not really talk about someone. Okay, it's just more of explaining. Okay, so maybe you can be clearer about what are the information types. There are the authoritative types, and there are the just describing a product type, which seems quite boring. Okay, okay, the Bentley is made by Rolls-Royce, except for the radiations. They are identical motor cars manufactured by the same engineers in the same world. People who feel differently about driving Rolls-Royce and buying a Bentley price. The Rolls-Royce illustrate in this advertisement. Okay, 13,555. Okay, maybe it's not this as well. Okay, just try to find one for me. Okay, that is more authoritative. I think it will work. I think it can be really, really good if it is done correctly. Okay, yeah, since no one has done it, maybe CCE will be the first. And the very, very top copywriter is Cheryl. Yay, clap, 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 clap. Okay, let's go back. Okay, next, okay, use the right tone. Okay, so what we can do is perhaps try three tones. Okay, don't have to write for everyone. Maybe the first few paragraph, let's explore. Or if we don't have time, we can just try one of the tones. Okay, based on others. Okay, initially I thought that if you really can't express it, okay, you might want to go over here and find something similar and use it. Okay, for example, the Le Xie one, which I find I really quite liked it. This one. Okay, like for example, one of the parts you will read later where we talk about like for example, this may be early warning signs that learning methods currently used to teach Chinese is not engaging your child in an effective way. So you can see it's something similar for this one. Okay, the ones where okay, it seems not as good as this. Students will constantly want to test their mind on harder questions and find out more on how they could better deal with the subject. Okay, so you can copy these ideas, okay, in this style. Okay, um, um, these are the okay, so maybe you can put how to see if your child will be interested in future. Number one, is he aware of the subject? Number two, is he able to okay? So instead of this box, you can change to aware to intellect. Okay, now this may be early signs that the child can be interested in the subjects. Okay, because only once you so if they do not have this, okay, and they are not handled properly, they could lead your child to be disinterested in learning in the long run. Okay, so you can see put it in, okay, modify and put it in. But yes, Cheryl, after I've seen what you have produced, okay, yeah, maybe we don't really need this point, but just see how let's produce a good one, okay, so that CCE can start to do well. And yes, definitely in the long run it will definitely benefit all of us. So yes, I make this opportunity to upgrade, improve yourself, Cheryl. You are quite a talent, you can see. Parts and what is this? Must okay, parts and ideas must be there. Sorry, I was on the rush. Okay, what I'm trying to say when parts and ideas must be there is that when you see what I wrote, okay, all the ideas must be inside, and try your very best to see how I actually use the ideas in order to write the copy. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so the ideas must be there. So I'm trying to explain to you what the ideas and what are the things that I need to achieve from each of the box. Okay, so now how you should write it. Okay, you should first read it, then to understand it, then rewrite it. Okay, which seems that you have done. Okay, so don't just go ahead and all the change all the grammars, like just put ed, okay, then just put just change a little bit of the sentence, maybe instead of how he or she could understand, maybe you just change that understanding, blah 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 blah. Okay, don't just change the sentence. Okay, the best way, okay, is really to read everything, understand it, put it inside your head, and then to go ahead and rewrite it. That should be how it's done. Okay, don't just change a little bit here and there, don't just change the sentence. That is what not we need. Okay, the sentence structure, proper sentence structure, which is important as well, and it's something that I am weak at. Okay, so read, rewrite, and research. Okay, so that is great. Okay, so basically that's it. This part, read, rewrite, and read, understand, and rewrite, which I thought you had exhibits in your this one. Oops, this is base. Okay, which have to really say appreciate it a lot. Okay, thanks. Okay, now okay, let me take a break first. Very tired. Okay, welcome back. Now let's continue on. Okay, now this part, I'd like to say, okay, the taunting PSLE questions you have heard in the media, it will only get worse in secondary school, where questions are all requiring to infer, which means questions will no longer be straightforward. Okay, questions will be things that require students to think, analyze, and apply. Okay, so over here, we'll find three examples for you. Okay, at a way later stage. Okay, so yes, over here the main objective is to make it emotionally fear. Okay, emotionally fear. All right. So sorry. I have forgotten if I have mentioned this. Okay, the daunting questions you have heard in the media. It will only get worse when it comes to secondary school. Okay. Where questions I need to infer. Okay, where questions need to be about thinking. Okay, which is true. Okay, because what happens is that in Singapore the questions are really quite difficult. Okay, so we'll put it here, some of the examples. Okay, um where root learning is root learning and hard work will no longer be enough, and only students who could really think can succeed. Okay. Next box. Okay. Now, despite the new emphasis on thinking skills and subject skills rather than rote learning, Most educators are still unable to upgrade their teaching method. Okay, I have cancelled the rest. That's why CCE P1 prep class can really thrive in the new syllabus due to CCE research. Okay, then continue. To properly and correctly equip students with all the thinking skills needed to do well and be better prepared than everyone who did not attend the course, or depend better prepared than everyone. Okay, don't have to have this. Okay, as far as we are aware, no other centers has this course. Yes, okay. This I'm not so sure if we should put in. Okay, so the whole idea for here, it's also more about explaining to parents, okay, why we are important. Okay, and trying to put something over here, which I'm not so sure if it's good or not. Um, you want to tell them that we are the only choice. Okay, the part where we are the only choice because we are the only center that does this. Okay, or it seems a little bit bogus. I'm not so sure if you find it. As far as we are aware, to do well and be prepared to prepare than everyone. Um, maybe we should put something like as they are the only few who um has this skill embedded, okay, before this skill embedded, they are the only few who has this skill embedded before P1. Yeah, I think this might be more better. Okay, instead of saying it directly, we are saying it indirectly that since they are the only few who has this skill embedded in them. Yes, I think this will be better. Okay, so over here we will write down in point form to be emotional, to let parents to emphasize more about our idea above on how why we are saying that it's natural for us. Okay, 81.62% of the students could not fully comprehend passage and understand the deeper ideas behind it. Okay, 72.34 of the students could not analyze and link up upon what teachers teach. 73.55 of the students could not memorize concept. Okay, seven concepts that they have learned and apply to questions, manipulate. Okay, they could not manipulate concepts they have learned and to apply to the questions appropriately. That is, I think this can be lower. 32.58 of the students are not able to remember concept spellings appropriately. Okay, next testimonial. Please write something that looks real. Okay, then after that, ask Macy to make some photo. Okay, then after at the end of each testimonial, just put a box. Click here to register. Okay, next for this one, till I mentioned earlier, I want to make it into a flow chart. Okay, 7 important thinking skills that used by top students to ace primary school. Okay, every week students will be exposed to one of the skills. Okay, we'll first simulate the scene, and after that, what happens is, for this should be quite obvious for you. We are trying to make it like, have the sequence of events, okay, to make sure that parents are aware how we work. Okay, so we have 7 skills. Okay, we might need to change to 6. Okay, because we might not have enough time. Yes, let's change to 6 thinking skills. Okay, let's just change to 6 thinking skills. Okay, for all of them, change to 6 thinking skills. Okay, please help me change in front of as well. Every week, students will be exposed to one of the skills. Okay, we will first simulate the scenario of a primary school setting to allow them to better know when to use the skill. So, like for example, let's say the skill is about how to listen to teachers appropriately. So the settings will be like in a normal classroom settings where the teacher is going to explain so what they should be doing. Okay, or if the skills is relating to math, so they will be taught one of the math concepts and they are taught clearly how to use their brains to really do it. Now, with a ratio of 1 teacher to 7 students, teacher will use CCE method to guide everyone on how to use the thinking skills. So what happens is, of course, if you have so many students, the teacher is just going to explain. But right now, the teacher is going to sit in front of you. Yes, maybe you can help to change a little bit. Okay, like I want to say more like, we are in front of you, so we will be really, the teacher will be there to properly install the idea into the child, properly get the idea into the child's head. Okay, this one I can, okay, can suggest a little bit. Now, very often, many students see obvious improvement after a few weeks. Okay, next, students will use the skills to complete the fun activity and a P1 topic at the same time. We have painstakingly select and isolate topics that are related to each of the cognitive skills and source for questions from top school test paper for students to understand the importance of cognitive skills. So what happens over here is that after they have learned the skills, of course they need to practice. So we go to school's test paper and let them try the questions. Okay, we have collected a lot of test papers. Okay, for example here, okay, school test paper. So yeah, we have plenty. Okay, so we have a plenty over here. So yeah, this is we have a lot. Um, yes. So that is a good thing. Oops. Okay, so we will select the questions from there. So it's important to emphasize that we are painstaking or use other words that you find appropriate. And, we would like to tell parents the thing that, ours is really different from others. Okay, we don't do it cheaply. We put in a lot of efforts, and not many centers can really do it because, it takes a lot of manpower and time, and we are the only one who do it. So this is basically the idea. Yes, and the most importantly is that we don't want parents to assume that our things are not related to school. So parents are very straightforward. They want things that are related to school. So that's why we talk about from top schools papers. Okay. So after that, okay, next, students will revisit the cognitive skills over the next few weeks and increasing difficulty and has to use the cognitive skills that they have learned before. Okay, along with new ones on the academic questions. So what happens is, the next few weeks later, we will make the questions more and more difficult. Okay, and they have to use the thinking skills and the new ones that they have learned. Okay, so you will see your child being confident and excited and learn better and solve questions when other students have no idea what it's saying or could only grasp bits and pieces of the lessons. Okay, so yep, all this please make it shorter and sweeter. Okay, so next create a table. We want to tell it's going to be 130 Sing dollars. So we want to tell parents what we are doing, what they will gain. Okay, so we will learn some. Okay, so this part put the English part, this part put the maths part. So they will learn about 60 advanced vocabulary. Maybe not 60 since it's advanced. Maybe we can put 50 since okay because initially it was 4 weeks. So now we are talking about 8 weeks only. Okay, maybe 58. Okay, how to fully comprehend. Okay, 58 better. How to fully comprehend and understand what the teacher is saying. How to think so that able to see the meaning behind the passage. Okay, how to use the mind to remember spelling and vocabulary naturally and more. Okay, math components, the first 3 months of the P1 academic so that students can be ready and confident. Okay, maybe we just put 2 months. Mathematical skills to solve maths problems naturally. understand the application of maths, manipulate concepts. Okay, so how to think so that students can understand the deeper meaning behind the concepts and more. Okay, next I'll put a testimonial. Now over here, please help me create a table that shows some of the past results from our 2015 intake. So go and look for names on Facebook, okay, that is appropriate. Okay, I'm going to find some of my friends, okay, some of the, what are the names of Singaporeans. Okay, so write down 14 of them. Okay, so write down the midterm score and term score, so put most of them as 80 and above. Okay, or above 80. So now just say that some of the results we are not able to obtain. Okay, so some of the math, four of the results, okay, that's just put unable to obtain. Okay, because not all schools actually have P1 tests. Okay, next we are going to have a table to summarize everything. 7 for class, for teacher to fully implement and produce results based on CCE method for cognitive development. Fun activities that students look forward to, make students confident and strive to do well. Okay, make students have great interest on the subject. Receive daily feedback, parents to receive. Okay, the only center thus far with cognitive improvements and latest cognitive science. Okay, maybe we note this. Um, um, Implement cognitive improvements and use cognitive and latest cognitive science research. Okay, now with the increased heuristic challenge questions, CCP1 prep class will get your child all the thinking skills needed to succeed and have an enjoyable primary school life. Limited slots at 14 to 20 per students per center. Okay, so why do I put this is because we want to have like the emphasize that don't regrets. Once you regrets, it could be real harm for you. Okay, so the idea that if they are not going to take actions now, okay, maybe we can call. Okay, 97432709. Okay, put this at below all of them. Okay, so to want them to take actions. Okay, to call me. Okay,